need to understand. Okay. My name is Robert Kawalya, and we are on the journey of retrieving data. Retrieving data is simply getting data from the database. Okay. So yesterday we are able to look at a number of things. We looked at the keywords that are used in retrieving data, and we are able to see that data is stored in the database tables. So relational databases, data is stored in tables. And whenever I want to read data, we use the select keyword. And we must specify the table in which data is stored. And we must specify columns from which data is selected from. So what is a table in simple terms? A table is a combination of rows and columns. That's it. So what is the syntax? The word syntax means what is the rule? The rule is you must start with the word select whenever you want to read the data, followed by the column name, and you must use the from keyword to specify the table in which you're fetching data from. So friends, if you don't have a laptop, please get a notebook and a pen, note down every statement. Okay? So the syntax is we start with the select, we specify the columns or the column names from, and then we use the from keyword to specify the table in which we are fetching data from. So you can find that in your database, you can have 100 and thousands of tables. So you must specify which table are you getting the results from. Okay. And then we say that the table names and column names must be correct. So to do that, if you want to make sure that the table names and the column names are right, you can be able to use a view known as the tab view. And lastly, to check for column names, we use the describe keyword. That's whenever you want to describe the columns that are in a given table, we use the describe keyword, as we shall see briefly. So we say that these are the keywords: select, from, group by. Select it is used whenever you want to read data. From, used to specify the table. A group by keyword, we shall be able to look at it. So retrieving data, we are able to look at all these scenarios. If you want to retrieve data, if you want to retrieve all the columns from the employees table, we shall be able to look at that. Just as a recap, retrieve the first name and last name of all employees. Can also be able to do that. Retrieve the department name and location ID from the departments table. Okay, so we are able to look at column areas, and we are able to know that, oh, whenever we want to rename columns, we use the as keyword and we give it a new column name. This is just whenever you want to change the column names. So yes, we are going to look at different scenarios. So the HR manager can be able to, maybe at some stage, you're in organization and the HR manager comes to you as a person who attended the SQL and Oracle training from TechLift Academy and is asking, we want to know the average salary paid to employees across the entire company. And scenario 2, the management wants to see each employee's first name alongside company-wide average salary for comparison. Okay. Then we shall be able to look at the maximum. Let's assume the HR manager wants to find out the highest salary paid to any employee in the company. Who is the most paid employee in the company? So these are the things that are happening in the real life. We want to know who is the highest paid employee. So it is the work of the data analyst to go and check different tables concerning that information. Okay? Yes, the HR manager can also be interested in knowing the lowest salary among all the employees in the company. So we are going to see all these things practically. Okay. So in the same scenario or on a different aspect, the finance department wants to know or wants to calculate the total salary expense for all employees across the company. These are the things that happen in the organization. Okay. So I want to start the practicals, and we are going to first start with our previous discussion. Okay. So yesterday we are able to look at all these scenarios. Let us assume you want to retrieve all columns from the employees table. So I told you that whenever you want to communicate to the database, you cannot be able to do it directly. We use the SQL in which the database can be able to understand. Your English, your Luganda, your Soga, the database cannot be able to understand it. It understands the only language, and that is SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. So let us assume you have your Oracle software installed on your computer. You want to do these things. You want to retrieve all columns from the employees table. What will you do? First of all, you're going to click here on the start menu and you search for that language, which is SQL. So if you're using uh, Oracle 11G, these are just different versions of Oracle. If you have 10G, 11G, so if it is 10G, you'll just be able to see the word SQL command line. If it is Oracle 11G, it is SQL or SQL plus. So the moment you click on it, it is going to come up with the SQL, or the SQL window is going to land, or it is going to show. Okay. Now let me first maximize my screen such that it is visible to everyone on the call. Yes, as I told you that Oracle, it is known for security purposes. You cannot connect to the database if you don't know your username and the password. These are the very important things. So you must know. So we are going to use the HR account for us to learn, but you can be able to create various user accounts. And that's not your work as a data analyst. That is the work of a DBA or a database administrator. Okay. Your work or as a data analyst, it is to correct, analyze, visualize information for decision making. So you can be able to sort. So we shall be able to learn different things as we move on, how to sort data. Yes, we have retrieved the data. Now we want to sort the results. Now you want to filter the results. So in our subsequent sessions, we shall be able to look at that. So I want us to go back to our first scenario. It says retrieve all columns from the employees table. So we are going to connect to the HR username. The username, it is HR. Then the password, it is HR. These are the things which are given by the DBA. You don't need to worry about this. Where are we getting the HR? Where are we getting the password? This is the work of the DBA. So by default, every Oracle software comes with the HR user account installed just by default. So you need to connect. That's why if I was able to put in the HR username and the password, you didn't see it, but it is there. It is saying we are connected to the Oracle Database 11G Enterprise, among other things. So having connected, There are various ways. If in case you want to show the password, you can connect like this. You can just say connect. You put your username, stroke the password, which is HR. And I told you that in Oracle, the way whenever you're communicating, if you want to let people know that you have ended your statement, you must be able to use a full stop. That is in English and or other languages. So in SQL, you terminate by putting a semicolon. Taking no raise, your hand is up, but please rename your names. Sorry, rename your gadgets, please. It's not so important like for us to just enable a person like taking no raise. I don't know whether it's a name. Okay, Aronda Michael. Yes, you're now identified clearly. I request that you type your question in the chat room. I'll be able to respond to you. Otherwise, we shall have some errors or some mistakes or in the presentation. So I was saying that connect HR is the username, stroke the password, which is HR. And I said in Oracle, every statement must be ended like that. So it will tell us that we are connected. If you want to hide the password, such that in case someone is seeing what you're doing, you can just, how do I create an account and password? Is this case sensitive? No, Oracle is not case sensitive. Yes, friends, I said you as a data analyst, your work is not to create user accounts. It is just to give them a privilege to access the information in the database. It is the work of the work of the DBA to do that for you. But to expand your learning, we shall have level 2 of Oracle. For you, we just need to learn data analysis. Creating user accounts, that's not your role for now. Just need to first learn how to analyze data that is there in the database as per the program. Okay, so having connected to the Oracle database, because Oracle is wide, we cannot learn everything in just 6 weeks as per the program. No, that's a lie. We cannot give you all that information in that shortest period. So let's go back. We are saying we want to retrieve columns from the employees table. So I said if you want to know the tables that are in the database, we usually start with the select keyword. Whenever you want to read data, select. And I say that a star means all. We are saying that select star from tab. And then you close that statement. You are able to see all the tables that are in the database. We have countries, we have departments, we have employees, we have employee details view, we have jobs, we have job history, location, and regions. Okay? So I have connected my account, but it is locked for the first time. But now we need to practice how do we log in. Okay, I'm going to help the person whose account is being locked. Please, actually, friends, if you don't have a laptop, please let me just respond to this person briefly. You need to connect as a DBA. You have to issue this statement. Connect sys as sysdba. After connecting as a sysdba, sorry, you need to connect as a sysdba. After putting that statement, connect sys as sysdba, you need to issue this statement. Okay, you have to say alter user HR identified by HR account unlock. That's how we unlock user accounts in Oracle. So it is locked. So you need to first connect as a DBA. You say connect sys. Sys, it is a username for DBAs. as sysdba. Sysdba is the password, and you need to issue this statement after terminating that. After connecting as a sysdba, alter user HR identified by HR account unlock. We have left that topic. But friends, if you have issues with the software, please make sure you report it before we start the class. Okay, let's proceed. Uh, so our task is we want to retrieve all columns from the employees table. So we have issued this statement which says select star from tab. This is the statement. And I say that a star means all. So instead of us writing the word all, we are replacing it with a star. Okay. So otherwise, let's try to put the word all to like for it to be like English. So we shall just get it as an error, which cannot be able to run. So we have to say select star from the tab. Tab, it gives us, it is a view. Right now you cannot look at views. It is a little bit advanced. So our role, it is to understand the columns which are in the employees table. So that's when we come up and that's where we come in and say, describe that table, which is employees. We use the word describe whenever we want to understand the columns, not the information or the data. Okay. So these are the columns which are in the employees table. We have the employee ID, first name of the employee, last name, email addresses of employees, phone numbers, when they were hired, job ID, salary, commission, manager ID, in which those people are reporting to, department ID. Those are the columns in the employees table. Okay, so friends, let's go to the let's go to the second scenario. It says, retrieve first name and last name of employees. So it is a must for us to start with the word select. Select. So we want to get this first name and last name of all employees. Okay. How is it written? The first name, it is written as first with an underscore, no space. That's the first column. Then the second column, it is last name. This is how it is written. Select first name, last name with an underscore from, and then we specify the table, which is employees. Yes. So we shall be able to get all the first name and last name of all employees. Okay. So friends, I think uh, in case you have issues with the software, please don't bring them in the class. Please create time during your busy schedule and send me a WhatsApp message or inbox any of the admins. They can be able to respond to you. Just it is done like that to reduce on the time we spend in the class and not to disorganize it a little bit. Sorry for that. We want to retrieve. The third scenario says, retrieve the department name and location ID from the department's table. What do you need to do if you don't know how these columns are written? You have to describe that department C, the department's table. Okay. So what do? We just say describe departments. Describe departments. And after you terminate. So what do we want? We want the department name and location ID of all employees. So the department name and location ID, these are the columns that we want to get from that table departments. So shall say select department name, comma, location location ID. So you could be asking yourself, can I use small letters or capital letters? It is optional. Select department name, location ID. Then it's time to specify the table, which is departments. After that, you terminate or you close the statement. There are 27 departments. IT help desk, it has the location ID of this. So that's how you can be able to do that. And then we have another scenario, and that is looking at column areas. So column areas, I use it whenever we want to change the column headings. Like for instance, here it is department name as a column name and also location ID. If you want to change it, that's when you use column areas to change the column headings of the retrieved information. So what do? We have a scenario here that says, retrieve the first name, last name, and salary of all employees with new column names. Okay? So how can we be able to do that? We usually start with the word select. Don't forget that. Then we specify the columns. Columns, we have first name. Mind about the spellings, first name, last name, comma, salary, from, you specify the table, from employees. And after you terminate with a semicolon, and then you press the enter button. So, first name, last name, these are the things that we have come up with. So, the question is, how can we be able to give them new column names or new column headings? So this is like this. So how can we change it? If you want to put it as maybe first name as F name, last name as L name, and then salary as new salary. Just changing the column headings, but not changing the records. That's when we come and use what we call column areas. And column areas, whenever we want to use them, we must be able to issue this keyword known as. Okay? So how do we do it? We say select, we say select first name as, then the new column heading as F name. No spacing. If you want to space, that's when you put in what we call the underscore, comma, last name as, then you put a new column heading. Sorry, something wrong. Select first name as you put in double quotes, the new column heading as F name, double quotes, comma, last name as L, but you put it in double quotes as L name. We're just changing it to something new. Don't mind. You can be asking, so where do we get the L name? Just changing the column heading. Salary as, you open double quotes, you put in the word new salary, and then you close the quotes. From which table? It is employees. After that, you close the statement. You don't use a full stop. You use semicolon. There's a problem. The word first name, it is wrong. So Oracle is very sensitive. failure to put in the right spelling for the column and the table, you get wrong things. It will not run. Your query will not run. The column headings have changed. So friend, this is what we have been able to look at yesterday. I want us to move to today's class, the way it was planned. I'm going to stop my recording a bit